It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
Down, 180. Let's go, D. Let's go.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up third down.
It's 3rd and 9.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Hey, 4 down.
Now Carr. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. 33 yards that time.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
637.
Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
There he goes, left side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Kerryon Johnson, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Justin Tucker for the extra point. We'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. They begin with a run by Smith, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They'll set up a throw. He's got Lockett. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. And the first down, Chiefs. Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. It's caught. Smith. And he'll go down at the 28. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he's got the hook up here. It's Woods. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Robert Woods, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing now is Carr. Flush to his right. It's Hill, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Motion, watch in.
Carr going to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. He's got his man. It's Andrews. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's what you're looking for.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. It's Pumphrey on the toss. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 4th down. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And in this first quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Two times. Hey, we are 7:34.
Carr now on 1st down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. 2nd and 6. That's complete to Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On the draw, this is Smith. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. To throw his Carr. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's McCaffrey. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Right there in the middle, 55. Switch up, switch up.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Monday, down. 180. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 40.
Now they'll throw with Carr. He'll take a shot for the end zone. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyreek Hill with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack coming from big Dalvin Tomlinson.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
On first down, Carr. He gets it to Thomas. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. McCaffrey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Down. 180. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want none.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
In your face.
Carr keeps it on the sneak. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Tucker with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Second and 15. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Watch out for Hill on the return. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
38 yard line. 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 38 yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
From the 45 on second down, Carr. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
3 yards to go.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Single receiver, single receiver.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Carr now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Hey. 4 down. You're mine.
Again, they'll throw with Carr. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Now a toss play. This is Pumphrey. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. The defense pushing the run game back on the first play of the third quarter.
But I don't think that means abandoning the run totally. Sometimes you just have to focus on execution, right? They always talk about players, not plays. Well, tell your players to block a little bit better, and maybe the ground game can get going.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. Now back to throw. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost?
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Johnson. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Better ball security, but not much else to show for it.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Down. Blue 80.
Mike 50. Watch the out. Watch the out.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Returnable for Lockett.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Then they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A throw over the middle taken in, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
He's checking. Crash.
They're going to look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14, and he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line. Looking for Woods that time. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Hey, we're good. 185.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 24-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Single. Watch 8-9. He's yours. Tight end left.
Carr now to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Here's Carr. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
He's coming up the edge. Watch him up the edge. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And that's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Going deep here for Parker. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 53 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now Carr. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
Down. 180. 180. We're good. We're good. 185. Switch it down. Switch. 808.
Shotgun now for Carr. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Parker that time, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 12 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. They were able to stop him at the line on 1st down, but this time he punches his way through.
And sometimes just because you're stopped on the first run, it doesn't mean the play call was bad or incorrect. You might just need better execution and just a tad more determination, and they got it done on the 2nd try.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They run with Pumphrey. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
All day, defense, all
to throw here. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A good pickup of 6 there on 1st down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, 60 yards. 51. 65, 65. 65.
2nd and 4. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 27. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
I got one.
On play action, it's Carr. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Monday, down. 180.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
280.
On 1st down, it's Johnson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Down. 280.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's stopped right there,
Now on 2nd and 13. Carr, they'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And that is no good. But there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Carr. And that's off the mark, incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Jannard Avery gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. And he missed it. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They'll run here with Pumphrey. Stays on his feet, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Yeah, that'll cross midfield here, not by much. Out of bounds just on the other side of the 50. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I we enjoy. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Christian McCaffrey, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him and keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. On the run, it's Pumphrey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run again with Pumphrey. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
Let's go,
The
baby.
Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Seahawks on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
93. Hey, Echo. Get down.
From the gun, Carr. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with him.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Tackles.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll set up to throw. They'll roll him out right. He's going to let it fly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. 1st down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
55, Mike. Come on.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and